Hello, this is Postdoc Chronicles. Damn, I forgot. I think it's week. I believe it's week number 30. I believe this is 40, right? So dark. Okay. So I think the camera is trying to focus on the game, but then my face. But anyway, yeah. I believe this is Postdoc Chronicles week number 40. And yeah, I think it's 40 now. Man, I've been doing my postdoc for 40 weeks, so we're almost at the 1 year mark. But let me refocus again the game. So it's called, as you can see there, it's called Starlink Battle for Atlas. This game just came out months back for the Nintendo Switch. It's also available for Xbox and PS4. But the nice thing about the Switch version is that, so let me go back to my face here, refocus my face right there. So the nice thing about the Switch version is it's got the Star Fox gang in it. And if you haven't heard of Star Fox, it's like a on rails spaceship shooting game on the. It's a Nintendo franchise basically. And of course, I won't be here pretending that I'm an expert on that franchise because I haven't played the original on the. I think it's on Nintendo 64, but I was able to play the remake on the 3DS, but just that, no other games. And I know like Fox McCloud and like Wolf and the other gangs because of they appear in the Super Smash games, right? But yeah, anyway, this game is like you control a, so it's different from the usual Star Fox games where it's like on rails action. This one, it's a huge exploration game, so think No Man's Sky combined with third person shooter combined with like dogfighting, because if you're like in outer space, it's like a huge open dogfight, and then when you're on the planet, you're exploring, so you can like fly over the planet, and if you have enemies, you can like glide on the ground, and it turns into this very awesome third person shooter. So this game got mixed reviews. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that in a while, but I just want to say that I got this game for my birthday. So this was bought by my girlfriend. So this is the awesome thing about digital downloads. You know, like you just have an access to the eShop store anywhere in the world. And yeah, this is my the gift from my girlfriend. This typically goes for the deluxe version. Is like, so you can buy this game many ways. So I got here the deluxe version, which usually sells for $80, which is insanely expensive. But when I got this one, it was on a 50% sale. So we actually got this for $40. But you actually, if you go for the, so you can either go for physical or digital on this one. When you actually go for digital, one of the gimmicks of this game is that it's got, you know, the Toys to Life format. So you can like, by changing spaceships, you actually have like actual physical toys that you mount on your controller, and then if you change weapons or you change spaceships, you unmount them, and then you put the weapons on the controller mount. So you have to have like all those physical toys if you go that route. Of course, I don't want that because I'm not in my, I'm not in the Philippines, so I don't want to bring back a lot of physical things when I go back there eventually. So I opted for the much cheaper deluxe edition. Again, it's still expensive. It's priced, if not on sale, at $80. But yeah, the deluxe version, it has all the spaceships, all the weapons already unlocked, and they're just digital. So instead of like, if you want to swap a weapon, instead of doing it manually on the real thing, you can swap it with like by just looking at the menus and stuff. Okay, but the game, again, like I said, it reminds me of No Man's Sky. Even though I haven't played that game, I've seen some footages. You have a spaceship, you have several planets, and in a certain planet you have a lot of, checklist missions to do, typical of a Ubisoft game. Like if you've tried Assassin's Creed, so it's like, go to this place, do this, do that, go to this place, collect this, collect that, and so on. And it's really so much fun. It's relaxing, even though it can be repetitive at times. The idea that you have this one huge planet to explore. And the nice thing about this game is you can, like, at any point in time, you can point your spaceship like above on towards the atmosphere, and then just fly, and you can go to the outer space very seamlessly, and then you're seeing a planet, at the horizon. You can go to that planet, and then you can fly into the atmosphere, and then you can see the entire planet, zooming towards you. And again, it's seamless, no loading times and stuff. It's really very nice. And then each planet is unique. They have their own ecosystem. They have their own day and night cycle. You know, they have their own species and stuff, and it's very good. So it has this, some sort of space operatic story behind it, but it's not really very compelling. The nice thing that the thing that I'm going for when I'm playing this game is the relaxing nature of it, when you're just in the planet, and then you just roam around the planet and then shoot some aliens and stuff. And yeah, and it's really very cool. So yeah, this is one of the things that my girlfriend got for me during my birthday. For myself, of course, I also bought a video game for myself, but I actually had to wait for yesterday, March 19, because prior to my birthday, there was an announcement that my one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch, Pinball FX3, is releasing three Bali pinball based on real life tables that were released in the mid 90s. So they released three: Theater of Magic, the Safe Cracker, and the boxing one. And so I got them yesterday. They released yesterday, so I got them day one. It's like $10. So basically, that's my birthday gift for myself right there. Yeah, and I'm really having so much fun with this game so far, as well as the new pinball tables that I have. Okay, but anyway, let's go to my Postdoc Chronicles. So what I did last week is basically trying to clean up the theoretical portion of the stealth supersymmetry portion of our paper. So what Jong asked me to do is to read, because the very first instance of stealth supersymmetry, it was mentioned in a 2011 paper. And then so Jong basically asked me to look at all the instances where that particular paper on stealth SUSY has been reference, and then look at those citations so that we have a good overview of the status of stealth SUSY so far. So far, looking at the references, there were like two CMS searches related to it, okay, related to the search. And then also there were other. Let me recap what stealth SUSY is. I'm sure I've talked about this before when I like introduced SUSY or something in my previous Postdoc Chronicles. But basically, in stealth supersymmetry, you're trying to reduce one of the signatures that LHC is looking for when they look for SUSY particles, and this is the missing transverse momentum, or sometimes it's called the missing energy. Okay, and yeah, so in their signatures, they expect since the SUSY particles presumably are invisible particles that can't be detected by the detectors, they are accounted for in terms of missing energies. And so the premise is, if you expect these SUSY particles to exist, then there has to be a huge amount of missing energy when we look at the data. Okay, but so far we haven't seen those missing energies in our data, and we've been doing it for like, I don't know, almost 10 years now. So there's a proposal that maybe there are SUSY models, or there are SUSY theoretical framework where you do not rely on the missing energy. In other words, maybe SUSY particles are being produced in the LHC, but we're not seeing them because we're looking at the wrong signature. And then that's the idea basically of stealth SUSY. That's why it's called stealth, is that it's hidden from us, and even a signature of a missing energy is not what they call this, is not the be all end all identification tag for a supersymmetric particle. Okay, and so basically when I was reading the article, so in our very main reference is the original paper, because basically in there they were the ones who proposed this resonance of looking at a jet comprising a gluon and a gamma, and they did some preliminary works there, but using some sort of combinatorics or permutation. We did a large radius jet and then reconstructed some bino-like supersymmetric particles. But then later on, there were other forms of stealth supersymmetry where, because in the original stealth SUSY framework, they had to introduce this thing called a stealth sector, where a supersymmetric particle would decay into a so-called hidden sectors. Okay, so they introduce a new particles, and then these hidden sectors would then decay into the lightest supersymmetric particle, or the LSP, and then this LSP would carry very little amount of energy, due to the fact that in this hidden sector, most of the degeneracy of the masses between the singlino fermionic superpartner and its standard model singlet partner, the degeneracy would cause the LSP to carry very little amount of missing energy. Okay, and so yeah, so in the literature, I basically had to justify how to account for these types of interactions, like make sure that if you have a hidden sector, how does it transform? Do we have a vertex for it to go to standard model? Do we have a model or a vertex that will enable a bino-like SUSY particle to go to the hidden sector, and so on? But there's also this paper in, I believe, 2014 that I'm studying right now, that uses this extension of SUSY entitled called NMSSM, next to minimal supersymmetric standard model. And what it does is, instead of introducing a hidden sector, so it has this it introduces this fifth chi particle, the singlino, and it says that this will act as our LSP. So even though it will eventually decay into the gravitino, they said that it wouldn't matter anyway, because that decay, the time for that decay will be into a gravitino would be already beyond what the detectors can detect. So we just have to look at the singlino, because anyway, even if it goes finally into a gravitino, we won't be able to measure it. So just look at the gravitino and then call it the LSP, the lightest supersymmetric particle. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to strengthen our introduction and our theoretical part, and then I'm gonna give it to Jong. Jong's gonna look over it, because yeah, he wanted to make sure that all the other relevant references that inspired him to look at that model will also be found there. Okay, but yeah, anyway, this is uh Postdoc Chronicles week number. Hopefully, I'm right. But I think, yeah, because last week it was 30 something. I believe it was 39. So yeah, I'm confident that this is Postdoc Chronicles week number 40, and I'll see you next time for Postdoc Chronicles week number 41. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.